In my senior year of high school, the school bully confessed his feelings to me. To keep it from affecting my college entrance exams, my best friend reported me to the school for having a romantic relationship with him. Later, the school bully was forced to drop out, and I was admitted to Harvard. I went on to earn a master's and a PhD, and eventually built a successful career. My best friend goes around telling everyone that if it weren't for her back then, I would have been a total failure in high school. And she's become the savior who rescued me in everyone's eyes. Later, after we were both involved in an accident and reborn, she declared that she would let go of her compulsion to help others and focus on building her own life. Sure, Yao. I like you. When I heard those words, my head was still a little fuzzy. What's going on? Didn't I die? Just a moment ago, during a speech at my alma mater, Su-Ching rushed up to the podium and started talking again about how he had gone to great lengths to prevent me from getting into a relationship too early. Which is why I was able to get into Harvard and achieve the life I have today. And I'm using this as an example to warn younger students that they should never get involved in romantic relationships too early. What was supposed to be a talk about sharing learning experiences turned into a trial against me. Finally, I couldn't hold back any longer and snapped at Su-Ching on the ride back, telling her I hoped she wouldn't bring it up again. As a result, Su-Ching got very angry and berated me for being ungrateful. If it weren't for me back then, you would have gone off the rails. How would you have ended up with the successful life you have now? It's one thing that you're not grateful, but to actually get mad at me on top of that. You just can't let go of that school bully from back then, can you? Being obsessed with romance never ends well. Do you even know that people call friends like you ghost friends? If I weren't so kind-hearted, who do you think would even bother with you? Su-Ching is always lecturing me with this line of reasoning. But I got into Harvard back then because of my own hard work. His later success was also the result of his own hard work. But as soon as I disagree with her, she calls me an ungrateful, unfaithful friend. I used to put up with it, but now I really don't want to anymore. Who asked you to save us? Can you please stop meddling in other people's lives? Why don't you just get your own messed-up life in order? When Su-Ching heard my angry shout, his face instantly turned bright red with rage. Because she hasn't accomplished anything in recent years apart from preaching about saving me, her studies and career have been a complete mess. She was scammed out of money in a relationship and laid off from her job. She attributed all of this to the fact that she was always worrying about me and had neglected herself in the process. Since we were on the highway, I knew it wasn't right to argue with someone while driving. So I was just about to apologize to her so we could both calm down. I never expected my best friend to get so angry that she reached out and grabbed the steering wheel. Someone as ungrateful as you doesn't deserve to be my best friend. On the highway, I didn't even have time to react before I crashed into the guardrail and then into the big truck behind me. In the end, we were both killed by an oil tank that rolled off the truck. The pain from the blow still felt as if it were there, and I couldn't help but shudder all over. Sure, Yao. I really like you. Don't be afraid, I won't pick on you. Lin Chen, the school bully, spoke with a hint of nervousness, clutching the love letter he'd written for me tightly in his hand. It was only then that I realized I had been reborn back to the moment when the school bully confessed his feelings to me. I turned my head and, sure enough, saw Su-Ching, who had been standing beside me in my previous life. At that moment, Su-Ching seemed to have just snapped out of a state of shock. And once he took in the situation before him, a cold expression crossed his face. I don't care about your business. In this life, I'm going to let go of my compulsion to help others and focus on building my own life. After saying that, he turned and walked away, leaving me and a bewildered Lin Chen behind. Does your friend really hate me? Actually, I can explain, I am not really like what the rumors say. Lin Chen was a little nervous, and his voice grew quieter and quieter. I nodded with a smile. I know you're not the unreasonable person the rumors make you out to be. You only hit people because they insulted you first. And you usually keep a stern face to intimidate those unruly, troublesome students. Lin Chen looked at me in disbelief, as if he hadn't expected me to know him so well. But the next second, I said with a smile, but your grades really are terrible. When I mentioned his grades, Lin Chen hung his head in even greater shame. I'll do my best. Just working hard isn't enough. I don't want to date anyone in high school, and I don't want a long-distance relationship in college. So if you want to be my boyfriend, you'll have to get into a college in the same city as me. My goal is Harvard. Can you get into a college in the U.S.? I looked at Lin Chen with a smile. Lin Chen, who was already lacking in confidence, seemed completely dejected after hearing what I said. He seemed to have figured it out. I get if this is how you high achievers turn people down. Don't worry. I won't bother you anymore. After saying that, he put on an indifferent expression, and his face regained the cold, ruthless look typical of the school bully. He turned to leave, but his hand, clutching the love letter, trembled slightly, betraying his emotions. I smiled as I took the love letter from his hand. Trying on your own won't get you anywhere, but if you had a top-notch tutor to give you extra lessons, you might just make it. Lin Chen didn't seem to have expected this outcome. He turned around and looked at me in shock. Her eyes were brimming with excitement and joy. Are you serious? Are you the master teacher you mentioned? I rolled my eyes. What are you thinking? I need to prepare to get into the college of my choice. 2. You'll have to find a good tutor on your own with your family's financial resources. Hiring a good one shouldn't be a problem, right? No problem. Lin Chen nodded excitedly and reached out to hug me, but I took a step back to avoid him. He didn't get angry either. Instead, he promised me, sure Yao. Just wait, I'll definitely go to the U.S. And I'm definitely going to be your boyfriend. After saying that, he left excitedly. From the way he pulled out his phone, it seemed he was going to discuss hiring a tutor with his family. I went back to the classroom on my own and saw that Su Cheng, who used to sit next to me, had already packed up his things and moved to the back row. Su Cheng, why did you move to the back? Aren't you and Shiryao best friends? Did you two have a fight? That's right. Didn't you guys say you'd be desk mates for the rest of your lives? Several girls in the classroom gathered around Su Cheng and asked him. When he saw me walk in, Su Cheng let out a cold laugh. It's nothing. I just feel that life is my own, and I want to give it my all for myself rather than waste my time on people who aren't worth it. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone's eyes turned to me clearly. I was the one who wasn't worthy. Hearing that, I shrugged and sat back down in my seat. She really should live for herself, rather than always focusing on me. In my previous life, I rejected Lin Chen's confession right then and there, but Su Cheng still reported us for dating too young. Because of her report, as the top student in the entire school, I was naturally a priority for the teachers to protect. At this critical juncture of my senior year, they dared not and could not let me make a mistake. So when people heard that I was in a relationship with the school bully at a young age, there was a huge reaction. They called in my parents and the school bully's parents. But no matter how much we explained that we weren't in a relationship, the school wouldn't believe us because they had the love letter the school bully had written to me. In his previous life, Su Cheng reported the school bully after receiving a love letter from him. In the end, to prevent May, a promising candidate for the top student in the city, from going astray, the school decided to have Lin Chen transfer to another school at this critical moment. Even though his family was wealthy, in their eyes, Lin Chen was a school bully who didn't study at all, so even if he transferred schools, it wouldn't have much impact on his college entrance exam results. But what right do they have to abandon someone based on a baseless charge? Before class, when Su Cheng came over to pick up the last few things he needed, he saw the love letter in my hand and let out a cold laugh. A love-struck fool is still a love-struck fool. You pretended to turn him down last time, but this time you just couldn't resist. Could you? I turned around and gave her a cold look, but she went on. Don't worry. I won't help you this time. Just go ahead and enjoy your relationship. This time, I'm going to build my own life. People like you aren't worthy of my help. Although I don't understand where she got the courage to say something like that. I heard it often enough in my previous life. Ignoring her provocation, I put the love letter away right in front of her. This earned him an even more scornful roll of the eyes from her. Just as the teacher was about to enter the classroom, The student sitting in front of her said excitedly. Li Shiyao, did Lin Chen just confess his feelings to you? The school's top guy confessed to you. Did you say yes? When the homeroom teacher walked in and heard this, her piercing gaze immediately turned to me. Li Shiyao, you're in your senior year, are you dating already? I jumped right up. No, I'm not dating anyone at this age. Then why did you say Lin Chen confessed his feelings to you? Do you even know what kind of person Lin Chen is? Don't make the wrong choice at this critical moment. The student sitting behind me saw the homeroom teacher lose his temper and immediately realized he'd gotten into trouble. He gave me an apologetic look while trying his best to keep a low profile. Su Cheng, you're close with Li Shiyao. Tell me, is she in a relationship with Lin Chen? The homeroom teacher asked. Noticing Su Cheng still standing next to me, when asked, Su Cheng paused for a moment, then looked at me with a complex expression, but said, Teacher, I don't know. The homeroom teacher hadn't expected that answer and was a little dissatisfied. Teacher, I was just Li Shiyao's deskmate, you weren't together all the time. I don't know anything about her situation. Besides, Teacher, I've already moved to the back of the classroom, so I won't be sitting next to Li Shiyao anymore. Su Cheng stood up straight and spoke with conviction, as if he were delivering a declaration of party membership. The teacher paused for a moment, not understanding why Su Cheng had suddenly changed seats, but no one stopped it after all. Seats in our class are assigned based on grades, and given Su Cheng's grades, there was no way he could sit next to me. It was only because I insisted that I was able to sit in the front row. The teacher actually always thought that Su Cheng was distracting me from my studies. Now that Su Cheng wants to move to the back row on her own, and I have no objections, she's naturally delighted. Let Su Cheng go to the back on his own. After Su Cheng left, the homeroom teacher warned me again. You're not allowed to get close to students like Lin Chen. Understand? Teacher, what do you mean by a student like Lin Chen? I frowned in displeasure. It was the first time I'd ever talked back to a teacher. Upon hearing this, the homeroom teacher became even angrier. And you say you're not in a relationship before your time. Lin Chen's grades are at the bottom of the class, and all he does is get into fights every day. What kind of student is a troublemaker like that? Someone like him is nothing but scum. Teacher, I think it's wrong of you to belittle a classmate like that. Lin Chen just has poor grades. It's not like he's a bad person. You're still talking back. The homeroom teacher took a step closer. Furious. Do you know he's always getting into fights? Is this just a matter of poor grades? But there's always a reason when he gets physical, and he didn't start it in the first place. Didn't he only resort to violence because the school and the teachers ignored him after he reported the situation to them? I argued my case. The homeroom teacher was clearly furious with me. As her star student, I had talked back to her in front of the whole class, which made her especially angry. Get out of here. Go stand in the hallway as punishment. This was the first time I had talked back to a teacher and been made to stand as punishment. I know it's wrong, but this is what Su Cheng wants to see. As I walked out of the classroom, Su Cheng saw what I was doing, and a spark of excitement clearly flashed in his eyes. I walked out of the classroom with a cold smile and stood in the hallway. That's when I saw Lin Chen in the hallway. I didn't know when he'd gotten there, but he had clearly overheard my conversation with the teacher just a moment ago. He wanted to come over, but I shook my head to tell him no and told him to go back and focus on his class. After class, the homeroom teacher called me into the office. Li Shiyao, you've really let me down. Seeing the disappointment on my homeroom teacher's face made me feel really bad. Too. I'm sorry. Teacher, I was wrong. I didn't expect to admit my mistake so quickly. My homeroom teacher, with a stern expression, asked, What did you do wrong? I shouldn't have talked back to the teacher in front of everyone, and I shouldn't have accused the teacher of belittling my classmates without cause. I said sincerely. The homeroom teacher paused for a moment, then said sheepishly, I was in the wrong here, too. You're right as a teacher. I shouldn't have belittled a student like that. It's just that you're a good student, and I don't want you to go down the wrong path. Seeing how earnestly the teacher was trying to reason with me, I immediately said, Don't worry, teacher. I'm not in a relationship with someone my age. And I was wrong to talk back to you. But, teachers, I also hope you can set aside your prejudices against Lin Chen. When she heard me speaking up for Lin Chen again, the teacher's expression darkened slightly, though it was still better than it had been in the classroom. I know that at your age, it's easy to get carried away by your feelings, but... Li Shiyao, I hope you'll think about your future and keep your distance from a boy like Lin Chen. Teacher, we really aren't in a relationship. I'm only telling you this to let you know that Lin Chen can be a good student, as long as you're willing to give him a chance. The homeroom teacher frowned. You're not planning to pair up with him to help him with his studies, are you? I shook my head. To be honest, who could I possibly help right now? It's been many years since I graduated from college, and I've long since forgotten what I learned in high school. I can barely keep up with my own studies, let alone help others with theirs. No. I don't think Lin Chen has any chance of improving his grades and getting into a good college just by relying on his schoolwork right now. I suggest he hire a tutor to really focus on his studies. I replied honestly. Upon hearing this, the homeroom teacher's expression softened considerably. It's true that his foundation is very weak. At school, it's not feasible for teachers to provide him with specialized remedial instruction. So hiring a tutor would be a good solution. Do you really think he can do it? The homeroom teacher asked uncertainly. Teacher, I can do it. Lin Chen's voice came from the doorway. My homeroom teacher and I turned around at the same time and saw Lin Chen, who was usually a slacker, standing at the door with a serious, focused expression on his face. The homeroom teacher looked at the teenager standing before him and, in the end, took pity on him and let him in. What makes you think I should believe you? The homeroom teacher said coldly. I know you've been wanting to join our class all along because of Li Shiyao. Lin Chen blushed slightly, but cleared his throat and said, Teacher, I can't promise that you'll see my grades improve right away, but I promise I'll show you every bit of progress I make, and I promise that from now on, I won't get into any more fights. Upon hearing Lin Chen's promise, the homeroom teacher was taken aback for a moment. After all, Lin Chen has always been known as the rebellious school bully who refuses to admit defeat no matter what. It's rare to see someone so committed to studying hard like this. And then there was the call from Lin Chen's father. The homeroom teacher decided to give Lin Chen and me a chance and agreed to Lin Chen's request to transfer to our class and sit next to me. But the condition is that if my grades drop on the next monthly exam and Lin Chen's grades don't improve, Lin Chen must leave our class and stay away from me. But I turned down the offer. Teacher, I don't think I can do it. Upon hearing this, the homeroom teacher's expression immediately turned displeased. Li Shiyao, what more do you want? Teacher, I want to compete, I said firmly. Upon hearing this, the homeroom teacher furrowed her brow slightly. With your current grades, you have a shot at becoming the city's top student. It would be a bit of a waste to focus on competitions, and there are risks involved as well. Of course, I know that if things were the same as in my previous life, but in this life, I'm no longer that high school senior, Li Shiyao. And I can't guarantee that I'll be able to achieve outstanding results on the college entrance exam in just 1 year. But if I go the competitive route, with the experience I gained in my previous life, it shouldn't be a problem. Teacher, I think my chances of getting into Harvard through the competition are better, I said earnestly. Perhaps it was my earnest attitude that kept the teacher from turning me down right away. Are you interested in math competitions? I nodded. All right. I'll discuss this with the school. The homeroom teacher turned to Lin Chen again. Remember your promise. After saying that, he let us leave and also agreed to Lin Chen's request to transfer to our class. Before, even my dad couldn't get into your class no matter how much money he spent. But now he's actually in just because of something you said. Lin Chen was still buzzing with excitement. It's not because of something I said, but because of your own promise. And forget the promise you made to your homeroom teacher. I reminded him. I will. I'm even going to study in the U.S. so I can be your boyfriend. Lin Chen ran off excitedly, heading back to his classroom to pack up his things. I argued with the homeroom teacher because of Lin Chen, and in the end, I even brought Lin Chen back to the classroom since Su Qing had already moved out. There happened to be an empty seat next to me. Lin Chen became my desk partner. No, Wei Shi Yao is actually dating Lin Chen. Not only are they dating, but they also brought Lin Chen into our class. How was old man persuaded? My classmates all found it hard to believe. They couldn't understand why. Not only was I not punished by our homeroom teacher, but I actually brought Lin Chen into our class. The students were all curious, but only Su Cheng, sitting in the back row, scoffed at my arrival. Some people take advantage of their good grades to do whatever they want. Now she's even brought her boyfriend to class. Who in our class didn't earn their spot through their own hard work? At those words, the students' gazes toward Lin Chen instantly turned resentful. However, because Lin Chen was so well known, even if people were dissatisfied, no one dared to show it in his presence. He could only look at me with a look of dissatisfaction. I nonchalantly organized my books, then reminded Lin Chen to pay close attention in class. Lin Chen was serious when he said he would study hard for the rest of the class. He sat there attentively listening to the teacher's lecture. Even the teacher, who had been surprised by Lin Chen's arrival, was ultimately even more impressed by his dedication. Lin Chen is actually very smart. He just didn't pay close attention in class before. Now, at least, he's able to take in what's being taught. So I'm not worried about his grades improving. After all, in his previous life, he ruined his future because of me. So in this life, I have to give him a hand. Regarding my plan to participate in the competition, after my homeroom teacher discussed it with the grade level director and the competition teacher, they ultimately gave their approval. However, I was asked to take a competitive exam first, with the questions set by the competition instructor. Fortunately, I still had the foundation I'd built in my previous life, so I managed to turn in a solid test, and my homeroom teacher agreed to let me participate in the competition. Teacher, could you please not tell the other students about me leaving the competition just yet? I whispered. Why? The homeroom teacher asked, puzzled. I'm afraid other students might think competitions are a shortcut. When the homeroom teacher heard this, he thought it made sense, so he agreed to my request. And because I have to participate in the competition, my class time has been shortened. I often have to go to the competition coach for training, which makes it look to my classmates like I'm frequently missing evening study sessions. As for Lin Chen, since his family had hired a top-tier private tutor, he chose to go home for extra lessons during evening study hall after discussing it with his homeroom teacher. As a result, my classmates assumed that Lin Chen and I were dating, and that I was neglecting my studies because of our relationship. So I started skipping class with Lin Chen. That morning, I happened to arrive at the classroom early for a change and overheard a classmate say, Li Shi Yao is such a top student. How could she be hanging out with that troublemaker Lin Chen? Now she doesn't even attend evening study sessions anymore, all she does is date. With only a year left until the college entrance exams. Isn't she worried at all? Why are you worrying about her? Let me give you some advice. Not everyone is worth saving. Just focus on your college entrance exams. Let go of that urge to help others, and make a life for yourself. There was a hint of pride in Su Cheng's tone. No wonder you, Su Cheng, have been drifting further and further away from Li Shi. It turns out it's because you knew she was about to go down the wrong path, said a classmate in surprise. That's right. We're in our senior year now, and this is a critical time. Taking care of ourselves is what matters most. My classmate agreed. Hearing his classmates agree, Su Cheng felt even prouder. That's exactly why I've distanced myself from people who want to wallow in self-destruction so that, in the end, no one will take it the wrong way and blame me instead. Li Shi Yao isn't that kind of person, is she? Besides, she only left during evening study hall. She's always been perfectly normal in class. Maybe she had something else going on. It doesn't necessarily mean she's gone off the rails. Zhu Luoluo, the most popular girl in our class, furrowed her brow slightly as she spoke up for me. In response, Su Cheng let out a cold laugh. Who knows her better, you or me? Zhu Luoluo, I advise you to stay away from her. Otherwise, your life will be miserable. Just as Zhu Luoluo was about to say something, Su Cheng continued. I know that die-hard fans like you, just like Li Shiyao, are completely obsessed with romance and won't listen to reason. But I'll give you one last piece of advice. Don't take the arts entrance exam just to chase after a celebrity. The prospects for arts students are very bleak these days. You're pretty good for our class, but in the entertainment industry, that melting pot, it really doesn't amount to much. Instead of taking the arts entrance exam, you'd be better off studying hard and getting a proper bachelor's degree. That would be more useful. Su Cheng's words made Zhu Luoluo blush all over. She originally pursued a career in the arts, but she has always struggled with a lack of confidence. However, she is very down-to-earth and highly skilled in her field. If you take the arts entrance exam, you're sure to get into a good school. Su Cheng said this because, in her previous life, Zhu Luoluo really didn't get many acting roles after she graduated. For a time, she was in a very dire situation. Even when we had an accident, we were still in a situation where there were no roles for us to play. But Su Cheng didn't know that. In fact, Zhu Luoluo had already been spotted by a major director and had secretly filmed a big-budget production. It was just that, for various reasons, the time for promoting it hadn't come yet. That movie is sure to be a hit as soon as it comes out, because I know the producer of that movie. But now, Su Cheng's words had clearly shaken her confidence. I walked straight into the classroom. Their eyes met Su Cheng's. When he saw me walk in, Su Cheng didn't seem the least bit guilty. Instead, he gave me a defiant look. Li Shiyao, I was right, wasn't I? You don't need me to save you. I let out a cold laugh. You're going to save me? With what? Your abysmal grades. Just because I'm at the bottom doesn't mean I can't improve. As long as I work hard, I'll definitely turn things around and get into a good college. It's people like you who think you're so talented but just waste your gifts who will fall from grace. Su Cheng glared at me with hatred. I couldn't help but chuckle a little. This guy must have read too many feel-good reincarnati. On novels, reincarnation isn't the same as getting a brain transplant. Just then, Lin Chen walked in. He shot Su Cheng a cold look and said, "What gives you the right to say that Li Shiyao will fall from grace?" Su Cheng was still a little nervous when he saw Lin Chen. And some classmates nearby, noticing this, immediately stepped in to smooth things over. We were just joking. Lin Chen didn't take it seriously. Upon hearing this, Lin Chen pulled me over to sit down, then pointed at Su Cheng, who came and sat next to me. It was probably this action that angered Su Cheng. I couldn't help but blurt out, "It's because of you." With one of you being a slacker and the other being head over heels in love, it would be a miracle if your grades didn't drop. Upon hearing this, Lin Chen immediately stood up and started walking toward Su Cheng. But I quickly grabbed him. "Su Cheng, don't go spouting off when you don't know anything," I warned. "I don't know. I know all too well. I also know what happens when I help you. So I'm not going to help you now. Are you happy with that?" Su Cheng said sarcastically. Just as Lin Chen was about to lose his temper, the homeroom teachers walked in. "What are you guys up to?" With a roar, the students scattered in all directions. Su Cheng looked aggrieved. "Teacher Lin Chen is bullying me." The homeroom teacher looked at Lin Chen. "Lin Chen, what's going on?" "Teacher, Lin Chen didn't do it. It was Su Cheng who kept provoking Lin Chen." I immediately jumped in to defend Lin Chen. The homeroom teacher didn't believe me right away, but instead asked the other students in the class if Lin Chen had hit anyone. The students all said there was a verbal argument but no physical altercation. In the end, the homeroom teacher told Lin Chen to go home and talk to his parents, while Su Cheng was told to sit down and pay attention in class. Although Lin Chen wasn't convinced, after I urged him repeatedly to give it another try, he gritted his teeth and agreed. From that day on, my classmates started to give me a wide berth, thinking I was exactly the kind of fluff-struck fool Su Cheng had described. During PE class that day, I skipped it to attend a competition training session. When I returned to the classroom, the only person there was Zhu Luoluo, who had stayed behind because she was on her period. "Li Shiyao, do you think I'm really not cut out for the arts entrance exams?" I didn't know when Zhu Luoluo had sat down next to me. She asked me, looking a little shy. It seems that what Su Qing said last time really had a big impact on Zhu Luoluo. She seemed even more insecure these past few days. Are you really taking the arts exam just to chase after celebrities? I asked in return. She had always said that she took the arts entrance exam to get into the entertainment industry and follow her older brother. Zhu Luoluo paused for a moment, looking a little embarrassed. Actually, that's not entirely true. I really do love acting. Then take the exam. You've been preparing for so long, or are you really willing to just give up like that? I said. But with looks like mine, I'm really nothing special in the entertainment industry, right? You're very pretty. And since you want to be an actress, wouldn't it be more fulfilling to win over audiences with your acting skills? That day, Zhu Luoluo chatted with me for a long time and didn't return to her seat until PE class was over. I don't know what she ultimately decided, but I don't think she'll continue to feel inferior because of what Su Qing said. And because of my increasing competition training schedule, I've had to drop even more classes. Because of what happened last time, Lin Chen's parents spoke directly with the teacher and arranged for him to study at home with a tutor for a while. As a result, fueled by Su Qing, more and more rumors began to spread throughout the school that Lin Chen and I were dating and neglecting our studies. But I didn't have time to pay any attention to those rumors, because my mom happened to be sick and in the hospital at the time. And I had to take care of her while also training for the competition. Everyone in the class has been going there less often. That was until the first monthly exam of my senior year. I didn't take that exam because I was away competing. It wasn't until I got back that I found out Lin Chen's Tao's score had gone up by 200 points. He moved up 500 places in the class rankings. Lin Chen was excitedly showing his report card to his homeroom teacher to tell him about his progress. The teacher was very pleased and encouraged Lin Chen to keep up the good work. However, Su Qing couldn't accept this news, because after a month of studying, not only had she made no progress, but her grades had actually gotten worse. So when the homeroom teacher praised Lin Chen in front of the whole class, Su Qing spoke up. Teacher, I suspect Lin Chen of cheating. We all know what kind of person Lin Chen is. He hasn't been coming to class lately, yet his midterm scores went up. That clearly defies logic. Su Qing's tone was full of defiance. Upon hearing this, the other students also expressed disbelief in Lin Chen's grades, even though the homeroom teacher repeatedly assured him that there was nothing wrong with Lin Chen's grades. Su Qing still didn't believe it. He even teamed up with some classmates who had long taken a dislike to Lin Chen to report him. In the end, the school had no choice but to review Lin Chen's exam, and ultimately concluded that he had not cheated. After the school issued its statement, some students accepted the school's explanation, but Su Qing still wouldn't accept it. Lin Chen comes from a wealthy family and has a girlfriend who's a top student. He even got transferred to our class because of Li Shiyao. Is it really so surprising that the school would cover up his cheating to boost its college acceptance rate? Although no one agreed with Su Qing's words, there were always some who took them to heart. Lin Chen, who had finally made some progress, became quite despondent after being questioned. Some have even started to back down. What? Are you going to give up just because someone questioned you? I looked at Lin Chen with a cold smile. Upon hearing this, Lin Chen quickly shook his head. I won't give up. That's good. After saying that, I stood up and walked straight over to Su Qing. Su Qing, do you know that spreading rumors is a crime? Su Qing didn't expect me to confront him head-on, and he paused for a moment. How did I spread rumors? First of all, you said I'm Lin Chen's girlfriend. I haven't agreed to date him yet, so I'm not his girlfriend. That's already a rumor. Also, based on your own imagination, you're accusing the school of covering up students' cheating. That's slander against the school's reputation. Do you think you can handle that kind of responsibility? Su Qing was taken aback by my intensity and jumped to his feet. Don't try to scare me. His is just a reasonable assumption. You know full well whether this is a reasonable assumption or malicious speculation and rumor-mongering. Do you want me to call the police? I said coldly, but Su Qing panicked and shouted at me. Li Shiyao, are you going to ruin my life again? Wasn't it enough that you ruined it last time? The students were all startled by Su Qing's sudden outburst and didn't understand what he actually meant. But I know full well that she always feels that my success in my past life was due to her. while her failure was my fault. That's hard to say. I just hope you don't go down the wrong path. Do what's best for yourself. After saying that, I returned to my seat and waited for class to begin. All she could hear was Su Chang's defiant voice from the back seat. You've been acting however you please, relying on your natural talent. You don't really think you'll get into Harvard this time without putting in the effort, do you? Li Shiyao. You're going to regret this. That makes it sound as if I didn't try hard enough in my past life. But I also knew it was pointless to argue with someone like that. So I just ignored her, sat back down, and got ready for class. I had thought that if, as Su Ching said, she really didn't interfere in my affairs this time, it would actually be quite nice to just focus on my studies. But I never expected that in this life. She'd become even more obsessitas if she were absolutely convinced that I was bound to have a hard time. Especially after Zhu Luoluo talked to me and still insisted on pursuing the arts exam path. She became completely obsessed. She had promised to focus on herself, but instead she started lashing out at me on Tieba and across the internet, accusing me, a highly talented student, of not only neglecting my studies because of a romantic relationship but also of encouraging less talented female classmates to pursue the arts exam path. In her article, she wrote, "Senior year of high school is the most critical year. Many people choose the wrong path out of a momentary burst of enthusiasm, unaware of what they'll face in the future." Yet Li Shiyao recklessly encouraged a girl who was average in every respect to take the most difficult path. What kind of ulterior motives does someone like that really have? I used to be her best friend, so I know her better than anyone. Has anyone ever really stopped to think about what that girl will have to face in the future? Someone who only takes advantage of her friends and doesn't know how to be grateful. Every word was heartfelt. And before long, rumors began spreading on the school's online forum and across the internet that I was a bad influence. Not only was I dating a small-time thug, but I was also leading the girls in my class astray. Su Ching has been spreading the word everywhere that ever since I started dating, I've skipped class many times to go on dates with my boyfriend and check into hotels, and that I've let myself go. But I shouldn't have dragged other students down with me. The school administrators had also heard about what happened online, so they immediately called both Lin Chen and me into their office to deal with the matter seriously. "You said you were going to study hard, but look at how things turned out," the principal said, expressing his dissatisfaction with something he rarely did. Finally, he shot Lin Chen a fierce glare. "Lin Chen, although you made progress on the last exam, your grades are still in the bottom half of the grade. You're holding Li Shiyao back. If this continues, I suggest you transfer to another school so you don't have a negative influence on our top students. We place a high priority on our college acceptance rate." Lin Chen wanted to fight back, but perhaps because he remembered the promises he'd made to me and our homeroom teacher, he chose to keep quiet even though he felt deeply wronged. Just as I was about to speak up to explain, the principal pointed at me and said, "Li Shiyao, I've always thought you were a good kid, but I never expected you to go down this path and to lead other students astray as well. You've really let me down." Seeing the principal's disappointed expression, I was at a loss for words. Did he find out the truth? That's all it took to disappoint him. That is precisely why, when Lin Chen was maliciously insulted by other students for his flashy attire and behavior, and he reported the incident to the school concluded that the problem lay with a poor student like Lin Chen and took no action. That was what finally made Lin Chen lose his temper and lash out, leading him to start fighting. In his previous life, Lin Chen had to transfer schools because of Su Chang's report. Is Lin Chen transferring schools again in this lifetime because of Su Chang's slander? Just as I was about to lose my temper, the homeroom teacher spoke up. "Principal, this is really just a misunderstanding." The homeroom teacher carefully explained our current situations, Lin Chen's and mine, and then said, "When Lin Chen isn't at school, he's at home with a tutor working on his studies. Both his tutor and his parents have confirmed this with me. Li Shiyao is currently preparing for a competition, and her mother is ill and hospitalized. Lately, she's been either attending training sessions, caring for her mother at the hospital, or participating in competitions. There's no way the two of them would be dating, skipping class to go on dates, or even checking into a hotel room. That's just a rumor. Only then did the principal's expression ease, and he looked at Lin Chen in astonishment. You really were tutoring at home? Lin Chen nodded, looking aggrieved. The principal knew he was wrong, but he couldn't save face. This is also your own fault. You'd given people such a bad impression before that it led to this misunderstanding. As he spoke, he asked, So, what's the story with that girl taking the arts entrance exam? The homeroom teacher pulled out the documents she was holding. The girl's name is Zhu Luoluo. She's quite pretty, comes from a well-off family, and has been nurtured since childhood. She's well suited for the arts exam track. She used to lack confidence, but I see she's doing much better now. I've heard her performance skills are solid as long as her academic scores are up to par. She's practically guaranteed a spot at the Central Academy of Drama. We have talent like that at our school, the principal asked, somewhat surprised. She's a pretty well-behaved little girl. So all of this is just a rumor. The principal looked very angry. Well, so we'd like to see if we can get in touch with the person spreading the rumor and have them set the record straight. I said right away. The principal, of course, knew. That's right. I'll have the forum moderators contact the poster right away. This is clearly damaging the school's reputation. Principal, I think the person who posted that has a lot of ill will toward me and Lin Chen. I hope we don't tell her about our current situation, so as not to affect my chances of being recommended for admission through the competition. I said quietly. Upon hearing this, the principal was not pleased. It's very likely that a student started the rumor. How deep could the grudge be that it would affect your direct admission? This is an act that harms both others and yourself. But the homeroom teacher didn't see it that way. Principal, this is a critical time. I think Li Shiyao has a point just to be on the safe side. By the time Lin Chen and I emerged safely from the principal's office, the principal's expression had improved considerably, and his attitude toward Lin Chen had softened as well. He even patted him on the shoulder in front of the students in the hallway and encouraged him to keep up the good work. This became a historic event at our school. The principal cheered on the school bully. When it was finally revealed the Su Qing was the one spreading the rumors, the whole class was surprised after all. As far as they knew, Su Qing was my best friend. Even if there's been a rift between us because of my relationship, that's no reason to spread rumors. But faced with the evidence, Su Qing argued his case forcefully. What's wrong with just telling the truth? The school is clearly playing favorites with Li Shiyao. By letting her get away with this, you're actually doing her a disservice. You should be protecting people like me, who devote all their energy to their studies, not those love-struck kids who think of nothing but dating. Su Chang's allegations came as a shock to the school's administration. The principal almost thought he was seeing things. He examined the monthly exam rankings over and over again, saying, You've put all your effort into your studies, and yet you're ranked 150th from the bottom in your grade. Su Chang's face instantly flushed crimson with embarrassment. I just haven't adjusted yet. Once I've gotten used to everything, I'll make a comeback. Although no one knows where she found the courage, since this is a critical time in her senior year of high school, the school didn't actually punish her. They just asked her to delete the post and issue a clarification. The post was eventually deleted, but there was no clarification whatsoever. The teacher reminded him a few times, but when that didn't work, he stopped urging him. I didn't really pay it any mind after all. Things on the internet blow over quickly. I thought that after this lesson, Su Qing would know better than to keep going. But to my surprise, not only did she not stop, she actually went to see my mom. Perhaps because of her experiences in her past life, she knew where my mom was hospitalized. So when I went to visit her at the hospital that weekend, I found that there was already a girl there. The girl sat at the head of my mom's bed, sobbing. Auntie, I know Shiyao is your hope. It's bad enough that she's gone astray herself, but now she's dragging the other girls in her class down with her. I don't dare try to talk her out of it. I am afraid if I do, she'll end up resenting me. I know I shouldn't be telling you this while you're sick, but she's getting worse and worse. I just hope you can rein her in, so she stops dragging others down and stops picking on me. I never would have thought this person was so good at stirring up trouble. I've been best friends with her for decades. Yet I had no idea she was such a talented actress. Just as I was about to walk into the room to call her out, I heard my mom say, "Su Ching, I've always considered you Shuryao's best friend. So I've always been very fond of you. But Shuryao is my daughter, and I know exactly what kind of person she is. I can't really say anything about early romance. But you're saying she'd skip class and hang out with the wrong crowd because of it and even drag other girls in the class down with her. I just don't buy it." Su Ching looked at my mom in disbelief. "Auntie, don't you believe me? You saw the love letter Lin Chen gave to she if that's proof." My mom, however, responded calmly. "I saw the love letter, but I didn't read it. I know very well how passionate young people's feelings can be, but I believe Shuryao is someone who knows how to strike a balance. And at this critical juncture in her senior year of high school, I'm confident she won't let a premature romance hold her back. As for you, Su Ching, as your elder, I feel I must remind you that taking someone else's mail like this is an invasion of their privacy." Su Ching was left speechless by my mom's words. Seeing that he couldn't change her mind, he had no choice but to reluctantly back out of the room. As soon as the results came out, I saw myself. "So this is what you call letting go of the need to help others and living your own life. Aren't you meddling too much in my life?" I said coldly. "You shouldn't have come to bother my mom while she was sick." Su Ching was clearly feeling guilty, but she still said with conviction, "I just couldn't bear to see Auntie kept in the dark. I just didn't expect both of you, mother and daughter, to be so ungrateful." As soon as he finished speaking, he turned and ran off before I could get angry. The way he ran away in such a disheveled state was truly ugly. In the hospital room, my mom naturally knew I had come. But she didn't ask me about school. I just told her I was confident I could handle it. And if I really couldn't, to let her know she'd have my back. See, the people who truly have your best interests at heart won't let their own fantasies dictate your life. And that's exactly why I'm not going to let Su Ching off the hook this time. I gathered a complete chain of evidence regarding Su Cheng's defamation against me and decided to report it to the police. By the time the school found out, Su Ching had already been taken away for questioning, although the principal blamed me for calling the police without consulting the school first. Once he heard that the other party had gone to harass my seriously ill mother, no one said anything more about it. Su Ching was taken in by the police, given a stern talking to, and finally agreed to issue a public apology online. I just didn't expect that her way of apologizing would be to repeat the rumors she had spread about me in front of the entire internet. He said he shouldn't have revealed my private information just because he saw the evidence. I just thought that, as classmates, I couldn't stand by and watch her go down the wrong path. And I couldn't bear to see my classmate's mother, who was already sick, being deceived by her own daughter. So, with good intentions, I ended up doing something wrong. I would like to formally apologize to Li Shuryao and Lin Chen. I shouldn't have assumed you two were dating just because I saw the love letters you exchanged. And I certainly shouldn't have spread that rumor. I also shouldn't have speculated that you were skipping class to go on dates just because I noticed you were often absent. Above all, I shouldn't have cast reasonable doubt on Lin Chen's grades simply because his ranking, which had long been last in the grade, suddenly jumped several hundred places. I would like to once again sincerely apologize to both students. As soon as this apology statement was released, even more people started criticizing me and Lin Chen. Even the school came under fire. Su Ching, on the other hand, ended up being the poor soul who was stabbed in the back by her best friend. The whole internet is feeling sorry for this poor girl, who ended up with a ghostly friend. I urged Su Ching to stay away from me. Su Ching also responded, "This time, I've seen things clearly. I'm going to let go of my compulsion to help others and focus on building my own life. The future looks bright for me." Su Ching, that ridiculous line again. This time, I really don't plan on responding. If people want to cyberbully me, I can just go offline anyway. The most important thing right now is to prepare thoroughly for the competition that will secure my spot in college. Although Lin Chen was really upset about the online harassment, after I comforted him, he decided to go offline and focus on his studies. In light of our situation, The school decided that neither of us needed to go to school for the time being. So I entered a closed-off training facility. Lin Chen studied at home, and every time there was a test, the teacher would send him a test paper. Though his scores weren't included in the rankings, Su Ching thought he had succeeded this time. So while continuing his studies at school, he began building a following online thanks to the attention he'd received. The story, told from a third-person perspective, recounts the story of the two of us in our past life, the story of a high school girl who nearly went down the wrong path but was saved by her best friend. But because she was so caught up in love, she ended up resenting her best friend after the school bully she had a crush on transferred to another school. Although she had reached the pinnacle of her life, she failed to show gratitude to her best friend. In the end, she even provoked her best friend on the highway, causing her death. Because of this story, she has attracted a lot of fans, especially when combined with our situation in this lifetime. Her current persona is that of a level-headed, strong female lead. Su Ching declared online, "I don't care what kind of rotten, stinking life Li Shiyao ends up living this time. All I know is that I'm going to build a new life for myself through my own hard work." His candid remarks won him a whole new wave of fans. She wasn't particularly gifted when it came to her studies to begin with. And because she was distracted by her work as an influencer, her grades didn't actually improve much. But she didn't seem to mind, because as far as she was concerned, whether or not she succeeded might not be that important. As long as I fail, she succeeds. Time flies in senior year. Before you know it, it's time for the college entrance exam. To attract viewers, Su Ching live-streamed himself entering and leaving the exam room. And during the breaks between each exam, she would look everywhere for me. But when they couldn't find me, they said regretfully in the live stream, "It seems Li Shiyao has really hit rock bottom. Has she even stopped taking the college entrance exam?" This prompted a wave of sighs from netizens. I didn't say a word during that time. Not until my college entrance exam scores were released. I went live and connected with Su Ching's live stream. When he saw my live stream, Su Ching seemed very excited. "Li Shiyao, you finally dared to show up. So, how did you do on the college entrance exam today? Will you be able to get into a community college?" I let out a scoff. "I'm not planning on checking my scores with you. So what do you say? Want to compare our college entrance exam scores? Comparing your college entrance exam scores to mine. Li Shiyao, do you even know how long it's been since you've been to class? Did you even take the exam? And you're comparing yourself to me." Su Ching looked as if he'd heard the funniest joke in the world. "Just tell me if you dare to compete," I said, trying to provoke him. "Fine. Let's compare. You're just some delinquent girl who hasn't attended class for over half a year and you're trying to compete with me. Do you really think you're still the golden child you used to be?" Su Ching said with a look of contempt, seeing that time was running out. She spoke up first and said, "I'll go first and show you how it's done." I nodded. As the camera rolled, Su Ching entered his exam registration number and began searching. When the final scores were released, I scored over 400 points, which was around the admission cutoff for undergraduate programs. For someone who had only attended a vocational college in her previous life, that was a pretty good score. So she raised her eyebrow proudly. It turns out hard work really does pay off. I was originally only able to attend a vocational college, but after a year of hard work, I can now go to a 4-year university. I believe that as long as I keep working hard, I'll be able to get into a better graduate program in the future. Viewers in her live stream were also delighted by her achievements. Everyone sent her their best wishes. After she finished speaking, she started urging me to check my scores. I didn't waste any time. I entered my admission ticket number and checked my score. I was a little nervous when I checked my scores, too. When the final score came out over 500 points, I couldn't help but feel my heart start to race a little. 569. I said with a smile. That doesn't look too bad. Su Ching looked a little embarrassed. He probably hadn't expected me to score over 500 points. But in the end, he forced himself to say, "You really have gone to the dogs. You're satisfied with just this many points. You're such a hopeless romantic." Netizens were initially a bit surprised by my score, but after hearing what Su Ching had to say, they all felt sorry for me. Seeing the netizens' regret, as well as Su Chang's expression of both jealousy and smugness, Su Ching even went so far as to say, "With your love-struck mindset, you'll only get worse once you get to college." Netizens widely agreed with this view, saying that people who cannot control themselves even under the strict supervision of high school will only become even more wayward once they enter college. Hearing that, I just smiled slightly. Who said these were my scores? Didn't you say I didn't take the college entrance exam? Upon hearing this, Su Chang's eyes lit up. Li Shiyao, I never would have thought you were so vain using someone else's grades to compete with me just to win. Are you really still the same top student in the class who excelled in both academics and character? I just smiled faintly. It's true that my college entrance exam scores weren't as good as yours, so I used someone else's scores, but that someone else is none other than Lin Chen. The delinquent school bully you said led me astray. I revealed the name on the webpage so everyone could see that these were Lin Chen's grades. Even that little thug Lin Chen scored better than you. I really don't know what you've been working so hard on this past year. I said coldly. By the way, when I said I didn't do as well as you on the college entrance exam, it wasn't because I actually did worse than you, it's because I didn't even take the exam. I'd already been accepted to Harvard on a scholarship. Sorry to let you down again. As I spoke, I took out my letter of admission to Harvard and showed it to them. When he saw what I was holding, Su Ching, who had been so smug just moments before, finally couldn't hold back any longer. How could this happen? You're lying to me. You must be lying to me. This time I didn't save you. And now you've become a small-time thug and a delinquent girl. You probably can't even go to school. How could you possibly get into Harvard? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. On camera, Su Ching looked so frantic it was terrifying. She screamed and smashed the camera. The live stream is over. The next time I heard about her, her parents had committed her to a psychiatric hospital. Apparently, she refused to go to school and spent all day insisting that she was supposed to be the heroine who would rise up and take control of her own life. And I ended up at the university of my choice, not much different from my previous life. If I had to point out a difference, it's that I've got a tag-along around me now. You said that if I got into a college in the U.S., too, you'd let me be your girlfriend. On the flight to the U.S., Lin Chen, sitting next to me, asked again to confirm. I couldn't help but find it a little funny. I had only intended to use this to motivate him, to see if he could really turn things around. I never thought I'd actually pull it off, so I nodded and said, I've given you the title of boyfriend. But whether you can keep it depends on your own efforts. That title is mine for the taking, don't worry about it. Lin Chen had already shed his carefree, rebellious facade, but he still couldn't resist bragging a little. I think that this time, we'll all have better lives.